Go make disciples. Jesus didn't say that was optional. Every follower is a fisherman. So are you fishing for people, or are you just throwing rocks in the water? Jesus said, learn to fish for people. Good morning, and welcome to 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy-to-remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you experience life to the fullest the Jesus way. Today's Jesus Said in our Bible plan at bible.today.church is Matthew 4:19, and we're going to read through verse 20 today, reading from the NET translation, where he said to them, "Follow me, and I will turn you into fishers of people." They left their nets immediately and followed him. Now, that's not exactly a phrase that we use in our culture today, to fish for people. So how do you fish for people? How could you learn to fish for people? Well, I believe what Jesus was saying here is learn to make disciple makers. Well, how can we do that? Well, it begins with follow me. We have to completely and totally follow Jesus before we can be a fisher of people, because we can't teach what we don't actually obey. And we reap what we sow. That's a spiritual principle. And we are all planting seeds whether we realize it or not. You may say, well, I'm not fishing for people. Well, in one way or another, you are. So imagine that you're at the lake and you find this great spot to fish. You have the right bait, you have the right fishing equipment, and then some kid walks up and starts throwing rocks in the water right at that good spot, making it almost impossible to catch any fish. Well, now the kid probably doesn't realize what he's doing. He wouldn't call it fishing. He's just chunking rocks. But even though he doesn't know it, he is impacting the fish. In fact, he's kind of like an anti-fisherman. And when we don't follow Jesus, but we say that we do, it has the same kind of impact on fishing for people. If we are throwing stones of judgment, stones of arrogance, selfishness, well, it troubles the water, making fishing almost impossible. In 1 John 2, verses 3 through 6, it says, "Now by this we know that we have come to know God, if we keep his commandments. The one who says, 'I have come to know God,' and yet does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in such a person. But whoever obeys his word, truly in this person the love of God has been perfected. By this we know that we are in him. The one who says he resides in him ought himself to walk just as Jesus walked." So, unpacking that with a question, are you walking as Jesus walked? Because we reap what we sow. So you are making disciples one way or another. You are planting seeds and making an impact whether you realize it or not. But are you doing what Jesus said? Are you learning to fish for people, or are you being part of the problem? People are following. People are watching. Are we leading them by following Jesus? We are all disciple makers, either fishing for people or scaring them off. In Matthew 23:15, Jesus said, "Woe to you, experts in the law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! You cross the land and sea to make one convert, and when you get one, you make him twice as much a child of hell as yourselves." It's kind of scary to think about, isn't it? Well, you don't convert people so they can be discipled. You disciple people so they can be converted. And it all starts with following Jesus yourself. As you obey his commands and follow his example, you become a disciple maker. It's our identity in Jesus. Every follower is a fisherman, and every fisherman is a follower. You can't be one without the other. And Jesus said, learn to fish for people. How can you put that into action today? Thank you so much for listening. If this is meaningful to you, it really does mean a lot when you like it, when you share it, when you comment. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope this time together has helped you live life to the fullest, the Jesus way. And remember, follow Jesus today. Love first.